Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the AggieCentral podcast. Right now, Ohio State fans are sitting here thinking to themselves, like, did I click on the right video? There's an Aggie in front of me. Some cult member is going to talk to me about my team, this matchup in football. Can't happen, right? Okay, fair enough. Before you go, I got one thing to say to you. Actually, I got one thing to show to you. I got a clip for you to watch. Watch the clip. And when you get done watching that clip, if you click off the video, all I got to say to you is, may God have mercy on your soul. Okay? Here it is, uninterrupted.
Up there is a wide out too. The ball goes into the end zone and it is incomplete. Intended for Gamble. Now there is a penalty flag thrown.
Hold on.
Hold the phone. Everybody comes running down on the field.
Bad call. Bad call.
The left hand. I don't know if the left arm was there too soon or not.
I think the ball got there before Glenn Sharp did. This is a bad call for the Miami Hurricanes.
Now they could have been holding there.
They called pass interference, Keith.
Yeah, I did.
And this man right here says incomplete.
Trenzo sneaking touchdown.
So, do you know what that was? Miami fans know what that was. I know what it is. And if I know what it is, you better make sure that you know what it is, because this game is more than just about being in the college football playoff, trying to play for a national championship in 2025. This game goes all the way back to 2002. I guarantee it. So, this is a grudge match. This is absolutely going to be a grudge match. Now, I got 2.5 reasons for you to kind of stay in this one with me. Ohio State fans, Miami fans, y'all know, y'all have seen what I've given to you. So here's the 2 reasons, Ohio State. You just saw the first one. You need to understand what's going on with this throughout history. Number 2, I just spent 2 weeks profiling Miami because my team played them. And so I got a real good beat on what you're going to be up against. And I'm going to show you that. That's the other half reason. I'm not just going to talk to you about it. I'm going to show it to you. Okay? I'm going to show you what you're going to be up against. I'm going to profile just quickly here today 4 or 5 guys that I think you really need to know who they are. Okay? Because this Miami team is good. Now, set all this aside real quick just to put a couple things out there, because I will maintain that you're going to get an objective preview on this. You're going to get a fair rundown of your team as well as what you're going to see out of Miami. I guarantee you they will comment on this and they will testify that that was a fair assessment I gave throughout the entire time. Okay? They will 100% say that. The only bias that I may have in this whole thing, so I'll put it out there, is that Miami beat my team. So I do have a small vested interest in maybe if Miami were to win, it makes my team look better, right? Fair to say that, okay? But with that being out there, you can be the judge on whether or not I've given a fair assessment of your team, their team, and what the projections was. I will say this, I chose Miami to beat A&M 27-20. I had them as a 7-point better team. Final score of that game was 10-3. So feel pretty good about that one. With that being said, again, I'm going to show you what you got going on. Okay. Now, Ohio State fans. One last thing. Was that a pass interference or not? Miami, pass interference or not? Okay. I've got my ideas and my thoughts. I'll put them in the comments. But first, before I show you exactly what you're going to be up against Ohio State with this Miami team, which is a good Miami team, you got a bunch of things to be proud of. You've come a long way this year, not as in growth, but you've done a lot. You got a lot of things to be extremely thankful for at this time of year. So you played in the Big Ten championship, right? You had the lone loss against Miami. You've had a lot going on with Ryan Day over the last few years. You stuck with him. He gave you the national championship last year, and here we are again. You got a good team. You absolutely have a good team. So let me show you a few things that you really got good going for you right now as I see them from a third party. Okay? As I said, I'm going to show it to you all the way through. Let's move over to something that's not so controversial. How about This Jeremiah Smith fellow. Look at this guy. Man, just blew the top off of that. Jeremiah Smith. Who wouldn't want to have this guy on his team? Watch him work one more time against that DB. You probably feel a little bit like you kind of let one go on this one, Ohio State, I'm feeling like. Yeah, maybe so. Okay, so here's the thing. Jeremiah Smith, he's a 1,000-yard receiver, 13.6 yard average. He's got 11 TDs on the year, and he can blow the top off. He's a big, big guy, something like, I want to say 6'3", 223 pounds. Not a receiver that A&M's got on the team right now. And so, Aggies, if you're kind of listening to this, I'm showing you both these teams. You're going to see a lot of the things me talk about with A&M about what we might want to approach as we move forward, since this is normally an Aggie-centric podcast. Jeremiah Smith, somebody we'd like to have. We had a couple of smaller guys this year. They did great in their own right. We had some things that worked around our team, but Jeremiah Smith, that's a one-on-one nightmare matchup. How about Mr. Styles here? You got two Styles on the team. That one's Lorenzo that just made that catch. We'll show it to you in another angle here in just a second. Now, he's probably not the premier cornerback. Ohio State fans, you tell me, is Igbinosun like probably the main guy, I think? I mean, his stats look better. They're both seniors. They combined for 72 tackles, 8 passes defended. Igbinosun had 2 INTs on the season as well. I just really liked the way that Lorenzo approached this play. It was a real heads-up play. I like smart guys. He obviously studied what was going on. He had a real knack and feel for this particular play. I just think that's a cool play. Now, Igbinosun, when I watched this game versus Indiana, I didn't see a lot of flashy plays, but that's the way this kind of goes sometimes. Although his stats seem to be, a little bit better, and that can happen for multiple reasons, like maybe they throw to his side more because Lorenzo's better. It depends on kind of how you want to look at that. I'm going to learn a lot about your team as we're going through this. This won't be the first. This won't be the last video that I show on this, because I feel like I've got a lot to give you to talk to you about Miami. How about this guy? Now, this guy is something else. Miami, y'all watch closely with this guy. This is Curry. He's on the top side there. Miami's no stranger to pass rushers. Watch him work one more time. So Curry, right there, 11 sacks. He's a tackles for loss machine. He's got 16.5 on the season. That places him just outside the top 10 in the nation. The engine on this guy is probably what most impressed me on this play and others. He just doesn't really have any kind of quit in him. But Miami, if we're comparing him to somebody, I would probably go with Mesidor. He's a little bit slighter than a Bain type, maybe just a little bit step quicker than Bain. I really had Mesidor's speed that stood out to me in the game that we played. So that's why I kind of compare him a little bit more to Mesidor. Lastly, your quarterback, saying, you're not going to see a flashy play here. I don't know that you would even find a single flashy play. He can be frustrating at times, and probably there's a lot to be said about that, just because, like, how do you make some things up or overlook some things that he does? He has a tendency maybe to throw a little bit late. He's not hugely fleet on his foot, but look at his feet work. His footwork was just, from an A&M standpoint, this is something we're trying to get out of Marcel Reed, is a bit better of a plant and throw. Not so much on that second throw there, but the one where he's scrambling, throw an accurate throw down the field. We missed one to Casey Concepcion that was thrown a little bit short, called incomplete. Guy was wide open, just not a good plant and throw. Sand's not flashy, but he's getting the job done. He's not giving you like a top 20 offense, but it's enough to really make things work well. So before I move on to showing you what you're going to get out of Miami, Ohio State fans, now that you've kind of had me characterize your team just a little bit. And I'm excited to learn a lot more about you as you go on. But you're number one in total D. You're holding teams to an elite 213 yards per game. You're a top 5 rush D. You're a top rated passing D. You're the best rated scoring D. I mean, the list just kind of keeps going on and on. You're the only team holding opponents to less than 10 points per game. So, like I said, you're not really knocking the doors off offensively, but defensively you are. Offensively, you're 24th in total offense. You're putting up 34 points per game, which is still extremely good. And a lot of success is coming from being the second best team to convert third downs, which you're doing it at 55% at this point. You've had ranked wins over Texas, number 1 Texas, over number 17 Illinois, over number 15 Michigan, and your lone losses to Indiana, which was a really, really close game. A lot of you are probably saying same thing we were saying. It's like a really, really close game. They beat us. Okay, it's great. We played Miami really close. So I feel good about that. But better team won, and you're going to have to probably say that in this game. Even though you had your chances and you played really well, you probably have a good chance to go back and beat them if you end up playing Indiana again. So I like your team. I like what the talent that you've got, the combination of that, and how seasoned your team is, the job that Sayan is doing. He's only got 6 interceptions on the year. I mean, he's doing 255 yards per game passing. That's a 9.3 average, 31 TDs, but 6 INTs. And this ultimately was the end of A&M, where the INTs from the quarterback position. He's not being flashy. He's just being a solid quarterback. And you can win a national championship that way, especially with the D the way it is. Of course, you needed a few more points against Indiana. Okay. But you can, one extra play out of this guy or Bo Jackson makes that game, right? So now, is that a fair assessment? All right. Is that a fair assessment of your team? Let me show you what you're going to be up against when you play Miami, a very good team. Okay, a very good team. The first one is somebody that I think you need to know that's not going to be talked about a lot. And look, let's be honest, y'all. You don't see the bobbleheads behind me, right? You don't see the little helmets. You see empty boxes over here. We're just going to be talking ball. We're just going to be giving some hard and fast comments, opinions about this. It's not flashy, not national media type stuff. This is just looking and profiling this team for 2 weeks straight, okay? This guy that you need to know is who I think won the game for Miami. Miami fans, what do you think? You think this guy won this for you? What am I getting ready to show you? You see this play up here right now. Okay, well, there's 2 guys, but the first one's the main one I want to point out. This guy is Fletcher. He's kind of doing, let's watch it again. He's kind of doing what Sayan is doing, doesn't get a lot of talk. Not many people are mentioning him a whole lot. He's just a workhorse. He just does his job, and he does it well and does it hard. It didn't look like there was a hole there. I mean, he found it and he ran. The next play is somebody that's a little more flashy. This is Malachi Toney. So he just took the snap right there. That's a wide receiver. Let me show you him one more time. Yeah, here we go. All right, Carson Beck, boots out. A little distraction. Toney up the middle. I thought we did a decent job on this particular play. And we did a pretty good job on Toney in this game. He's a wide receiver by trade, but he played quarterback in high school, so he can throw the ball. They did try and give him the ball to throw on us. They do a lot of jet sweeps with him. He's very shifty, very quick, solid guy. He just turned 18. Like he's young and he's real good. He probably broke 1,000 yards for the season in this game. It was real close. We held him. We did really good on him. We held him to under 30 yards passing, but he basically had the game-winning TD, the only TD in the game on a reverse jet sweep. I may have that one stacked in here somewhere. But let's go to the next guy. There's actually 2 in this play, so watch both of them work on the edges. Absolutely tenacious. The guy that made the tackle right there, number 4, that is Bain. He's a big-bodied guy. He's strong, good in run defense, very difficult to run on. The other guy was Mesidor. He's going to be coming off the right side on this next piece. And like, he's just going to get the better of the right tackle. Just gets upfield a little faster, creates the havoc. Bain cleans it up. Sometimes it's the other way around. So in this particular game, Mesidor, number 3, the right side edge, had, I think, a sack and a half, which is pretty good for any game in the first half. But Bain, number 4, ended up having 3. Pretty much a career day. There were a lot of plays that you could see where we did well on him, but in the end, especially in the second half, things just kind of broke down a little bit more. They kept on going. They had a great engine, very similar to how I see Curry for you guys. Okay, let me show you one more clip of Mesidor working. Top side there. Let's see, is he not working? There we go. You see him just throw that left tackle out of the way? Whew. He's a strong dude. He doesn't get enough credit for that. Watch him. So Bain is the one that gets the credit for being the strong guy, but Mesidor is nothing to be sniffed at. He's got a little more quickness to him, in my opinion. So I think that's what he brings there. And he's got a really, really good engine. People will say that Bain gets the double team a lot and Mesidor cleans a lot of stuff up, and that's probably true for most of the season. I think in this game, he really made a name for himself, in my opinion. So that's Miami in a quick nutshell, and 4 or 5 guys, well, 4 in particular, that you really need to know. Carson Beck, very similar to a Sand type of situation where he does his job well. It's not going to get talked about in this particular game. I don't believe he threw an interception at all. We had 1 takeaway, but it wasn't because of him. And whereas he's had games that he has 2, 4 interceptions, in this particular game, he didn't, and he just did a low-key job. I think he only threw for like 110 yards, but Fletcher ran for like 176. So, in my opinion, that guy breaking like 3 or 4 like 25-plus yard runs was the difference in the game. We probably quelled that for a bit, but late in the game, when they needed it, getting down there inside the 20 and then finding a way to convert in the red zone, huge. So that kind of game makes it a little bit better. And this is why I put it on him, because A&M had trouble converting in the red zone. Miami did not. Something A&M is going to have to work on immensely. Having that run game that Miami had made the game. Okay, they were a little bit more creative. Like I said, they handed it off to Tony, but Fletcher got him down there. Okay, Beck didn't make any mistakes to keep him from getting down there or turning the ball over and those kinds of things. They just played an absolute solid game. Miami, great job. Ohio State fans, you're going to be up against one. You got a front 7 here that's going to be solid. So I'm going to be around talking a lot more about this. Do what you got to do to make this happen so you can come back for more of this. And I'll try and give you all the ins and outs that I can give you as a third-party representative. Do not let that first clip be lost on you, okay? This is whether you think that, look, Ohio State fans, the ref called it. It wasn't on you, okay? So, but that didn't make it hurt any less, right? Ohio State went on to score in the second overtime and win that national championship versus Miami back in 2002. They're still feeling some kind of way about that, I guarantee you. So don't let that go. Don't let that go missed, okay? So I appreciate you joining me. I love college football. That's why I don't care about getting rid of the boxes and putting up all the bobbleheads. So we're just going to talk ball. Join me again. I'll come up, with something else to show you more about Miami, learn more about Ohio State. Miami fans, thanks for rolling with me too. I'll make sure to give you also more of Ohio State so you can get acquainted with them as much as possible as well. Appreciate you all. We'll catch you on the next episode.